Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Matthew with Fathers of New Eden, and today we're going to be talking about fossil fuel and oil and all that good stuff. Listen to all this and see if it makes any sense for you. So, the green activist people want to get rid of carbon, CO2, the emissions, the fuel that you burn, and it seems like a noble cause. But so did Al Gore's thing on global warming back in the 90s. You know, he wanted to say that the world was gonna be so hot, global warming, blah blah blah, 30 years ago, and then it was 20 years ago, and then it was 10 years ago, and now it's in the next decade. It just gets washed and repeat over and over. If anybody didn't know, the Earth goes through cycles every couple 100,000 years. It gets hot, it gets cold, it gets hot, it gets cold. You can literally just Google the CO2 emissions a million years ago. And ironically enough, it was higher than it is today. But there was no cars back then. Really makes you wonder. If you haven't understood yet, this is all about control. To control where you go and what you do. They want you on the digital, on the electric, where they can track and trace everything. You are a fool. You need to listen. Everything is made with fossil fuels. Literally everything that you do. Even the green activists, the pens that they use to write on their signs and hold up and protest, it's all made out of oil. Fossil fuels, diesel, jet fuel, kerosene, propane. I have a big list right here. Hundreds of different solvents. Well, here, I'll just put up a little chart right here. That chart that you're seeing right now shows literally that's not even everything. That chart shows all kinds of stuff. What's made out of oil, what's made out of fossil fuels. Everything from your toothbrush to your toothpaste to your jacket you're wearing, to your dresses you go to homecoming with. Everything is made out of fossil fuels. And if it's not made out of it, a vehicle transported it using fossil fuels. Even the electric cars that they're using, the batteries are mined with vehicles that use fossil fuels. There's no getting away from the fossil fuel unless we come up with something way more advanced than solar powered wind turbines. They're good. I get it. They're good on small scale. They help out what they mainly help out is your freaking electric bill is what they help out with. But so the government wants to make all of its energy with renewable sources and from taxpayer money, and then they're going to turn around and charge you more money on a resource that they get for essentially free. Does that make any sense to anybody? And if you're bad, they can turn it off. If you say something wrong, they can turn it off. They can't turn off a gas-powered motor or a diesel motor. They can't turn off that kind of stuff. But they can make the supply really hard to get and really expensive. I mean, how much CO2 does your car emit versus a billionaire's airplane or a train or a boat producing sludge? How much does your car, what you drive to work or what you drive for work, how much does it produce versus the billionaires and the corporate CEOs? Amazon's carbon footprint compared to yours, how much carbon, what's their CO2 emission globally? Amazon or UPS or FedEx. They have something coming out with carbon credits. If anybody has heard of that, I have a little description below. From what I've understood from it, it's basically you're going to have to buy carbon credits to do anything. If you go 2 miles in your car, you need X amount of carbon credits because you're polluting. I hate to tell everybody, but we are all carbon. We're all made of carbon. We're all CO2. Ironically, they don't really say this, the green people, but plants eat carbon. That's part of the cycle. I was reading something. I didn't know this is how it was, but so oil or fossil fuels, they go into shells. They're absorbed through shells of like crustaceans and stuff like that, and they're turned into limestone. Algae absorbs oil, or algae absorbs CO2, and it turns into oil and natural gas. And plants, they absorb CO2 and it turns into coal over hundreds of thousands of years or whatever, millions of years, however you want to look at it. Doesn't matter. It's a big cycle. The CO2s get turned into the fossil fuel, and we use the fossil fuel, and it turns in. It's a big loop. It's renewable. It might take a long ass time, but just like with the weather, where they say, "Oh my God, it's getting hot," eventually it's going to get cold. Eventually it's going to get hot. CO2 does the same thing. Imagine feeling bad because your car emits so much CO2, and then the smallest volcano goes off and it emits a million times more than the amount of CO2 that you'll ever produce in your lifetime. People need to start waking up and thinking about this kind of stuff. And they're talking about cow farts and methane and how bad that is. And you're going to have to pay more for your food because cows fart and they produce methane. If we didn't raise cows the way we do, one, it wouldn't be that bad anyway. Just they want to say it's our fault because we eat cows, but they waste so much food. I was at the store today and I just sell by today, and I guarantee if they didn't get bought, they'd be thrown out and wasted. And it's all right off for the big companies. They don't care. You couldn't give it away because it's illegal to give away, because then you can't get your tax write-off. It blows my mind how they say it's our fault because we eat cows, but we don't eat as much cows as they throw away. America is one of the biggest wasters of food product in the world, and it's just because it's a tax write-off. They just throw it away. They produce, and then damn near half of it gets thrown away or wasted. And even the people that buy this stuff, my wife is notorious for that too. And I keep saying stuff to her every single day. We've been together 7 years. Not as bad. It's not as bad as it used to be. But, something would be in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 days and it'd be thrown away. Half a steak, half a ribs. Dude, that's still good. I don't care what you say. 2 or 3 days, stuff can last a lot longer than that. Or you can use it, or you can break it down, or you can eat the bones and the marrow and all that kind of stuff. People waste so much stuff. They throw away so much crap. The amount of stuff that I see at the landfill, it blows my mind how much stuff is thrown away. Not even talking about the food. In a million years or however long it takes to break down plastic and CO2 and all that, all the landfills around the world, another civilization is going to see that and dig it up and be like, man, look at this giant oil deposit. And that's what we're producing. We're collectively throwing all our junk into one big pile for the next generation of people to see, if there is one. Maybe God will make new people. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt we'll be around. But we're sitting here talking about how bad we are polluting stuff. Humans are bad, man. We're the cockroaches of the world. That's because we're assholes to each other. Not because we use plastic, though. Because we have disregard for other people's lives or animals' lives. Buffaloes, how quick did it take us to wipe them out when we came over from Europe? Or just any animals. When we go around them, what is it, the Galapagos turtles, or however you say that? How quick did we eat those? They said, if, shit hit the fan right now, and everybody went out and got a deer, and don't worry, I'll go be a hunter. The deer population would disappear within a couple days because people are going to kill it, not know how to process it, and throw it away. Whatever, I'll just go kill another one. It's not a consuming problem that the world has so much as an excess consuming or waste problem that we have. We can consume responsibly, you know. We can buy stuff, but people don't even, you buy the same thing every year. If the big CEOs would make the crap right the first time and not be a piece of junk, it would last. We wouldn't have to buy it year after year after year. Or, your cell phone that's designed to fail when the next cell phone comes out. So you have to buy a new one. So they get more money. So they get more product pushed out the door. It's not the average day people's fault. It's the big CEOs, wanting huge record profits, pushing it out. Yeah, but they're going to sit there and blame it on me and you. And it's funny because when the carbon credits come out, the big corporate people, they'll be able to afford that. That's why Bill Gates is going around buying all this farmland so he can accrue carbon credits. The amount, it has something to do. Rich Dad Poor Dad, I can't remember his name, the Asian dude. He talks about purchasing farmland and carbon credits. Well, he did at one point anyway. So basically, if you bought an acre of land and you preserve it, you keep it the way it is, you'll get accrued carbon credits towards you. You know what I mean? You won't have to use them. They'll come to you. It's like real estate basically. You buy a house, you rent it out, you get money from those people. You buy the farmland or the forest and you leave it alone, and the trees give you, you know what I mean? You get your carbon credits from the trees and stuff like that. And that's what it's based off of. So we need to just pay attention to this, pay attention to the fossil fuel thing, and just wake the hell up from it, man. The earth goes up and down through cycles. It gets hot and cold, it snows, it melts, it rains, it floods. It goes over and over and over again. Your oil, go to the grocery store and get your food without plastic bags, because that's made out of oil. This cup right here, that's made out of oil. My phone is made out of oil. A microphone is made out of oil. This pen is made out of oil. Like I said, my shirt is made out of oil. They want to stop oil. They want to stop the whole damn world from going around. Because literally 99% of the stuff, 100% of the stuff that you use on a day-to-day basis is either made out of oil or it's brought to you by oil. Period. We just need to wake up. See y'all later.